утро. Good morning for our guests. Днес започваме втората част на семинара по компютърна анимация. И искам така само да припомня, че целта на този семинар е да ви покаже не само новостите и едни от най-добрите в света постижения на компютърната анимация. В случая примерът със следващата презентация е точно такъв, защото филма има много престижни награди и първа награда на най-големия форум за компютърна графика SIGGRAPH 2010 година за студентски проект. Но целта на този семинар е също така да ви покажа как може да се прави филм в малък екип, с по-нисък бюджет, как може да се прави компютърна анимация, различна от масовите и касови продукции. И сега ще имате удоволствието да гледате едно така, бих казал, много хубаво постижение, един много хубав филм, който ние така с удоволствие екипа на компютърно пространство и насоки изгледахме, когато подбирахме проектите, които бяха изпратени за участие. Сега искам да дам думата на Shimbe да ви представи своята разработка до Лондон.
Hi guys, first of all, I love to, but I can't speak Bulgarian. This is speaking English, which is not really good, but better than Bulgarian, I feel it. Thanks a lot. I thought there could be the audience, but I really appreciate many people come here early in the morning, especially Saturday.
Може ли е превод или да...
Не.
Просто. I think you wanted to translate, right?
I just asked if it's necessary to translate, but yeah.
So actually I put lots of images and video clips as much as I can. So I'm trying not to talk a lot. So, before doing a presentation, I'd like to share my previous film named the Anamorphosis Trap, because it's gonna help you guys to understand what kind of surrealism and joke I kind of really like to use. So please enjoy. It's like a 2-minute 30-second short. I really like that kind of really ambiguous kind of situation, because it's not a comedy and nobody talks, but people laugh about it. So I think it's kind of, I mean, that's kind of one of the best thing I really like to use. Some kind of, hard to tell, but it works to people in really different ways. So yeah, for my latest film, the one dance pillow, I kind of tried to keep that kind of that aspect and the kind of weird moment in it. And so before working on it, so the irony is the kind of the key thing of my kind of artwork. So it's always interested me. So like, finding irony in our life is a kind of one of the kind of thing I really enjoy and like about. So I think this picture represents that irony really well, because it's a skull. It's should be really scary, but really flowery festival life, and like a feeling kind of together in that image. So that is another kind of strong feeling and pushy through my film. And the second thing is that to deal with the irony, I really try to. This drawing is the very early drawing, even before starting the pre-production. So I just draw my finger and putting the kind of something having like a perfect balance, so like a darkness and brightness and happy and sad. So I really didn't want to go extremely one side. So it's kind of anti-genre film, it could be, or totally like an experimental film. Just like you watch that Stare, the movie. So, but I don't know. It would be really balancing to the audience, but for personally, I really tried hard to kind of keep in balance. So, but I'm not a Buddhist too, but it's kind of part of Asian kind of philosophy. So it's also kind of maybe one of some thing like affecting me before. And the next one, documentary shooting in your dreams. So that was another thing I tried really hard to put in. So for example, could you raise your hand, the people who watched the whole film of one hospital? Nobody watched the full film? Oh, okay. I mean, because the film is not like a narrative film. I mean, traditional, it's totally not traditional film, so it's kind of hard to explain without watching it, but I'll try best to. So what I did is that you guys are going to see whole weird and dreamy situation going around, like some like a live puppets kind of walking like a human or something like that. But the camera work, what I used was like a kind of handheld camera, like a work, like a documentary shooting. So really holding kind of small Sony Handycam camera, and you just film it as you you want, whatever you want, like your family member or friends in the cafe. So that's really kind of interesting conflict kind of to show together. So. And so that is my student film that I made as a thesis film with CalArts. And there are two goals to me. So one is the last chance you can be crazy, and another one is the last chance you can be yourself. That means because many people go to school and they just make their portfolio to get a good job. Sure, that's a really important thing too, but they dedicate for 4 years to make like a texturing or just animating character, like just no meaning, but like a pantomime or just like a more commercial style, typical animation. But I worked on a commercial company before, but after all I knew how much that's precious to have my own time to make my own film with my own idea and my philosophy and everything. So I really try to go crazy, so without worrying about any getting a job later or something. But ironically, that means also to be yourself, because you don't make like a Pixar-like film or kind of just looking good film to get a job, because it's yours. So at the same time, making your own film is going to be making your own kind of identity or something. So if there are some students here, I will want you to talk about this. And another thing is that it's a really kind of like lots of crazy things going, but I really wanted to make it kind of logical film, because it's a really surreal film, but I didn't want to make, okay, so this is so real, so whatever just happened, who cares? So, but I really didn't want it. So it's just something really weird, but everyone see it, oh, that makes sense. So it feels more strong, surreal reason to my film. So that was my one of the big challenges. Why I was making my film. So this is like a picture, the initial concept about like an allegory of Plato's cave. So I think people know this picture. So the basic idea is that fire is here and puppeteers, they move a puppet. So they casted a shadow on the one side of a wall to a cave. So people only see the illusions. So that is alive. That's what Plato said like a long time ago. So the mission and duty of philosophers are putting the people get out from the cave and to see the real sound and real animal figures. So that was a kind of really strong concept about illusion, and we live in 21st century. We are still doing the same. Nothing is different. We are watching illusion. So isn't that really surprised? So that is a really big aspect, and one of the core idea I started making the Wonder Hospital. And I mean, it's kind of hard to say because you guys haven't seen my film, but it's but at the ending, in the climax, there's a kind of mirror reflection illusion thing. So I got the idea from the moment when I was in New York. I lived there for 4 years, and in the train there are many metallic walls reflecting like a mirror. So, but there are many crazy people in New York, so they punch the wall or throw rocks or whatever. So it's really ugly so you reflect really distorted your face. So one time I got kind of interesting idea, because to make the reflection look right, I could just flatten that wall, right? But I got another idea, because what if I just leave the wall as it is, and distort my face to correct the reflection? So, if life is illusion, as Plato said, what's going to be different? So, I had a really funny feeling. So, wow, that could be very interesting. So, I had that concept, like this. So, I researched lots of optical illusion devices. So, you know, it's only possible in picture. I think you guys have seen many of these in some like pop art things, in the Joy Trap. Yeah, so there are many optical illusion things, really interesting people. And at the time, there was a big social issue about plastic surgery in South Korea. Now I think it's got better, but like 5 years ago, it was the most fast-growing plastic surgery country. So many Chinese and Japanese, even like Western people, like visit to Korea to do plastic surgery. So I kind of try to put the two concepts together. So I mean, what I'm saying is that there are many optical illusion devices, and then I looked at the plastic surgery as another optical illusion device. So that was a really interesting the messaging for but not even South Korean, but for everyone, you know. So kind of this is one of kind of satirizing the photo. So, you know, to do plastic surgery, they mark on the skin, right? Just like this. And in Korea, I don't know if that's the same thing in here too, but there are some, they mark on the pig or cow to separate the good part or something. So I kind of matched those images together. So that is an actual core concept to start my film. So plastic surgery as an optical illusion. So I had researched lots about optical illusions and many other artists to satirizing that phenomenon around the world. This is Olga. He's one of the famous artists doing herself plastic surgery, really many times, like 20 times or something. And then take picture of her and do an exhibition. And another research goal was finding twisted details of ordinary life. So it's like some picture from Japan. So there's some visual concept. And for the hospital, there's a huge Toys R Us store in Times Square. So I went many times, and there is a big revolving door there. So it was really interesting. So the hospital designed based on the Toys R Us in Times Square. This is a test of a revolving door. So I used the revolving door as like a rabbit hole in the children's story of Alice in Wonderland. So basic idea is that one little girl or boy gets into the revolving door and spin it and they get out. It opens some wonderland. That is a wonder hospital. So that was a kind of the concept. The character concept. So this is a really popular children's play in Korea. I think you guys have never played this. It's a really intense or extremely fun. Once you guys play, you just become really good friends in just 1 hour. You guys should play this. Have you guys seen this thing?
What do you do in the game?
Oh, they run and jump over on it, and then crawl to the boss. And then they do like a rock, paper, scissors. And then they win, they do it again. But they lose, they change it, the team. So, very simple, but really intense. Sometimes they see blood on their nose. And so. Even high school I never thought this, but I just found a picture, and even it's a surprise to me. And this is the character in 3D. I finally designed it based on that children's play I used to play. So here's the clip. Yeah. I mean, when I design like an environment or a character, I really don't make totally new thing that I don't know. I always try to find what I really know well. Like from children's play, I play where the characters that I know and they're sitting next to me. So that's really natural process. So how I design the figures. And character design. This is the main character. It's a kind of long story, but I made 3D films, but I also do the puppet show. But it's not for children, but it's a kind of experimental puppet show by some other team. Because that puppet is so interesting, because like animation means it's something like make alive, make kind of dead object alive. That's kind of original meaning. So I always thought that puppet is a really only format of animation, because it's just a dead like a puppet made with like a leaf or straw or whatever. But kids hold it and shake or whatever, and then for the people watching it, it looks like alive. So I always consider that puppet show and animations really have a strong connection with always kind of same media. So I was so into the puppetry, and then to make 3D film, I try to make the character not like a realistic Pixar character or something, but like a puppet. But I use 3D, so I consider it as a digital puppet. So that was some different approach. So I didn't consider the character when I animate as like a polygon or some just a 3D object. But I just kind of used that thing like just a digital puppet animation or something. I know it looks same, but the mindset actually makes really sometimes different. So that's how I started at the character design. So this is a very early design. As you guys see, there are many handmade texture on it. So it looks more like some warm and more intimate feeling of it, rather than like a perfect, shiny, 3D shape. So it's an early design, main character. To put that hand texture feeling, I used ZBrush, so that helped a lot. Let's see the turnaround. So I want to ask you guys, this character, what do you think? Is it boy or girl? You should know. Because
but afterwards it's going to girl.
Yeah, but I said girl because I have to choose one of boy or girl. But I mean I'm asking because I didn't expect, but many people were asking after watching the film. But my answer is because I'm dealing the social issue of plastic surgery, but I really don't want to talk about plastic surgery is good or bad, because that's not my concern. But I more wanted to talk about like the fundamental desire every human have for like a physical beauty or something. So I didn't want to make this stereotype about like a woman's plastic surgery. So I kind of really make it blur the gender, so kind of can't tell it's a boy or a girl. But it ended up many people really curious about it's a boy or a girl. I don't know why. And this is the only working site tested. So. So it's like an automation plugin. And my friend made it. Basically, you hold this part in like mouse in Maya, and then you play it and you move around. You just capture every frame. I think the After Effects has that feature, it's like a motion sketch or something. So I used it to demonstrate the character moves like puppets. So, and then that is another good solution. I mean, the character design is really time-consuming and really hard. But sometimes you just stop when you really can't go further. Then just make work cycle, kind of various work cycle. Because many characters come from the walking behavior. Maybe it's opposite. So you see people how they walk on the street, then you can tell many part of their character. So that is a kind of good solution. So I had a really hard time to go further. So I just enjoyed making walk cycle. So it really helped to finish the final design. So another test here. Okay, and but I ended up not using the really crazy, I guess, motion because it after, I mean, looked interesting, but it looked too creepy. So I changed the entire film. And it's a doctors, like a plastic surgery doctors here. So first time I tried to make in 3D, but I ended up just making the finger puppets because like a finger puppets is really interesting because you use only one fingers, but that because it's small, a really subtle vibration on your finger, so it really looks ridiculous. So I kind of satirizing the doctors. So why should I use 3D cutting that all detail? So I just rather use the puppet, live action puppet, by filming like this. This really looks ridiculous. It's really. So those three are live action finger puppets. So it looks gigantic, but it's really kind of funny, subtle motions, you can see it.
Did you composite them together with a digital image? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The sub-character. So another character. My initial idea was the bending machine, maybe some monster inside it, having lots of fingers. And then you can put this finger and show it in the display in the front part. So they kind of do some puppet show after midnight or something.
Damn.
This is my favorite character. So like I got an inspiration from my Japanese friend in the same office. He always comes in, like a co-worker. So sit in the chair, work like this, and then as the time goes, going down. After lunch, it works like this. So it's just so funny. But he's working really hard. But like in the back, it's gone. But see, the side he's working, down in this position. So he's a kind of big guy, but it looks really kind of cute. So kind of really interesting character. So I got some. kind of long projects. I spent more than 2 years. But I was at school, but and I paying really, big tuitions. And what I thought was, I really didn't want to just sit down, shut up, and just working and just get a degree and get out. Because I really wanted to enjoy my process, doing lots of experiments. Rather than just looking at the computer monitor and just pushing your mouse button like that. So I did lots of early experiments before really going into production. And luckily, that time school brought a motion capture system. But many CalArts students, they hate the computer because they believe that the computer takes your artist spirit away. So it's a kind of evil thing. I'm sure it's not many people, but sure they know that it's kind of funny, but they push themselves like that, just believing. So kind of big stereotype anyway. And so I'm sure they love like a Pixar film, but they really hate like a motion capture animation because it's not human even, right? So, and also it's nothing like a hate or not to me, but I didn't want to use motion capture just like many big studio do. So what I did is took out the sensor of a motion capture suit and then put into the Japanese bunraku puppet, and then put the sensor. There's a backward viewer to help me. Goes like that. So what I tried was that it's not to use that actual data to my final film, but I kind of wanted to know really unexpected motion puppet could. So I mean, like I just was holding puppet with like a motion sensor, just shaking, and then just throw on the wall. So it captured every second in real time, and then you see really unimaginable motions, and you can see. So that is really kind of inspiring you how puppet is going to move. So even though you are not using the final data. So there is some video clips. So like shaking the puppets. This is a video clip. But this one is I'm going to try to be gentle. Like some zombie So, I mean, I didn't care which sound because getting out of the sensor line, but that was my purpose, just to screw up, just to disaster, make disaster and see what happened. And after shooting, it's going to take a rest. Another 16mm was tested. They are actually twins in the school. I was lucky. So in this picture, they not really look identical, but they are really. So the 3D stereoscopic glasses were one of the main objects in my building. So I was really interested in twins wearing the sunglasses, and that they look same, but that their shadow color is like a blue and red. So I mean, isn't that sure it's the same thing. I didn't use that for final, but that's how I work because I need to experiment and see something. Because I mean, in the production, you believe you know everything, but there are tons of different view and style and possibilities. So to find that, I had to, play with whatever I imagine. So rather than just keep sitting in the computer, just pulling and pushing the vertex, polygon. So that's how I start experiment. After that, I did some experiment in 3D. So like a hollow object is kind of really good concept to satire your, like a sculpture, beauty, and human alteration. And